This video is not meant to scare you, but it is meant to help you find a way to deal with what is happening and how to effectively enact change. This is an astrological look at what is going to be impacting the United States' birth chart for the next few months to see how all of this can play out in terms of what just happened over the past weekend. March 10th, hidden or taboo truths that could disrupt our daily operations, public health, military operations, the workforce, so on and so forth. Whistleblowing, uncomfortable truths coming to light, a financial reckoning on the 10th as well, tension between international treaties, financial agreements, domestic legislative matters. Do we have the funds to go to war right now? No. So behind the scenes, people might also be considering what can be put on the chopping block in order to move some funds around, which could impact public programs like WIC, SNAP, welfare, healthcare. March 12th, strained diplomacy, trade restrictions, and economic pressure from foreign partnerships. Housing costs, domestic property, well-being of citizens could be at odds with the country's willingness to maintain favorable international relationships. March 16th and 17th, major disruptions in media communications and how information is shared with the public. Huge unexpected upheaval with public health, labor systems, or the military. The best time to call your representatives is now. We are in a Mercury retrograde, and if they are using astrologers and witches like the theories say they are, then they are banking on us being burnt out, exhausted, and unmotivated to do anything because of Mercury retrograde. So you need to be calling your representatives. You need to be emailing your representatives. And the best time for peaceful protesting, in my opinion, will be March 21st and March 28th. April 3rd, the general consensus amongst the US citizens is that the American dream is dead. Our former allies may be looking at us sideways and unpredictable and unreliable. April 26th, confusion or blatant deception when it comes to foreign affairs, making deals. Domestically, a housing crisis could occur. April 28th, an impulsive, aggressive military action could take place. Around this time, there could also be very bold and or aggressive protesting. Again, April 28th, which could be met with equal or greater pushback from legal and police powers. What I would personally recommend for the month of April is financial blackouts and stay your asses off the streets if you don't want that type of smoke. May 6th, we are being forced to take a look at our foundations, our economic foundations, our general governmental foundations as a whole. Have we been doing things wrong since the inception of this country? What needs to change? By June 15th, we are really considering who we are as a nation, or I should say reconsidering who we are as a nation. Confidence in leadership is at an all-time low from all parties, from all sides, and the pressure to implement significant change and reform in our government is extremely loud. June 29th, we could see more whistleblowing, especially around our financial dealings, how money is used and moved in the government, what it's being used for. It's gonna anger a lot of people. Of course, there will be a lot of pushback, a lot of attempts to suppress this type of information and spin the narrative. At the same time, though, it feels like the nation is more united against leadership and the government itself than ever. July 11th is going to be a very, very volatile time, I believe. We could see some big moves in terms of how the military is used, incidents either here at home on our soil or on foreign soil, but I truly believe it'll be here on our soil. There could be strikes, labor revolts, changes in public health in general. Housing crisis is still going on likely. Healthcare could be extremely difficult to have. There could be just major disruptions to the government and the infrastructure as a whole. July 26th is basically a breaking point. The citizens are fed up, and it's time that the government responds instead of deflecting or pushing things to the side, pointing fingers at other people. This is something that certain political leaders will not be able to ignore anymore or hide from or run from in terms of taking accountability for. July 29th can be a very explosive day as well. It's like the US's last attempt at having control over its people, over its foreign allies or enemies. There could be a really, really big moment where it's that one last push to try and maintain control. Around the same time, though, this is, I think, a point where the citizens of the US as a whole are pretty much on the same page. Things need to change. This isn't working. We don't like what's happening. And so I think there's definitely a call to implement new leadership, new structures, new systems, new institutions that are for the people and less for the individuals. Again, this is not meant to scare you. This is just meant to show you that our words, our actions can and will directly impact how all of this plays out. That is the bottom line that I'm seeing throughout all of these transits, all of these aspects. What we do, whether we sit back if we stay quiet, we're going to continue to allow the people that are doing these idiotic things, making these idiotic decisions, we're going to allow them to keep doing the same things over and over again. But if we are loud, if we show them what we want, that we mean business, that is where they're going to feel the pressure to change. That is where they're going to feel the pressure to act differently, to make different decisions. So really, it's up to us, and we have to be vigilant. And I know easier said than done. It's exhausting. They want you to be exhausted. That is the whole point. So we need to find ways to uplift each other, to be there, to support each other, and to keep going, to keep fighting, because this shit is only going to get worse if we don't make a change now.